Hey, what's up? Can you guys even hear me? We're gonna find out. Um, I really can't flip this around, can I? Oh well. So we're gonna allow people to stream in here as I am waiting. So this is gonna be a very impromptu, very weird, very different live stream as I'm on my cell phone. This is not a usual Friday live stream, obviously. I am not near my usual home studio, so I'm just gonna kind of mess around. You guys, basically all the content. Hey, what's up? People coming in here. It's gonna be hard to kind of get all your chats, but I'll try as best as I can. What's going on? I'm just chilling. Figured I'd go live. Got some free time. Talk to the people. Yeah, the hair's not done at all. This is this is what it looks like when I don't do anything. So basically, all the content here is going to depend on what you ask me. If you got some questions, then we got something to talk about. If not, then it's just going to be me looking at you for 10 minutes before I leave. But yeah, I'm kind of hippie, and this is not even my sweater. This is my brother's sweater. So I'm just like, I'm really just relaxing here. Vibing, exactly. Butthole has it right. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm drinking, can I drink on stream? I don't know if I can. Non-alcoholic beer. That's what I'm drinking. Non-alcoholic, yes. Opinions on the March on Washington. Yeah, so I've basically been off the internet for the last few hours, but I have seen some tweets about it. The march is exactly what needs to keep happening, especially if Biden wins. There has to be a continuation of this stuff. That's the only way to potentially do anything in terms of pushing the conversation forward and potentially getting people some actual help. Because you're not going to get that under Trump, obviously. Oh, thanks for the congrats. Thank you. Yeah, so you have to. Protest movements are going to be what mostly drives the next 4 years, assuming the neo-fascist gets out. Obviously, that's a big assumption, but that's the hope. Is my audio okay? Can't guarantee this is going to sound perfect. As an audiophile, using the phone for this is giving me anxiety, but do best as I can. Got to scroll through some of these chats, so you may see my finger in the way. Winston, Winston always shows up with the questions. Winston says, "Did you see Vosh be Destiny debate about Kenosha shooter?" I did not see that. I heard about that debate. It sounded ridiculous to me that Destiny was defending him. I was not in the mood to watch that, so I did not watch it. But I can only imagine. It's crazy. There are certain people that do this work that it appears they really just chase they do what they do to be different and not necessarily do what they do to inform people. And it's obvious when you see people take those insane takes that there is no logic to it whatsoever. They clearly didn't think through it, but they take a position because it's different. And you see that quite a bit in this work. There's a very loud car driving by. Yeah, they chase clout, exactly. The clout chasers. That stuff exists. Thoughts on Trump's speech. So let me tell you the story about me watching that speech. I put it on last night. I'm visiting some family, so I'm not at home, but it was on. I'm like, screw this. It was insane. I went to bed early. And then about 40 minutes later, I couldn't fall asleep. I checked my phone. And the speech was still going on. And I think it lasted like another 20 minutes. It was, apparently it was really boring. I saw the first 10 minutes or so, or 20 minutes. It was a typical speech. It was a typical Trump speech. It was garbage. So, yeah, it's hard to really know what to think because it's exactly what you expect. Wasn't surprised by any of it. It's a typical, fear mongering, full of lies. Of course, every single sentence there was a lie. From what I saw, obviously I missed most of it, but I figured it continued that way. So, man, you guys got to get this neo-fascist out. You have to. I thought about it this morning. I'm worried. I'm worried about this election. Even apart from the obvious that the danger that he causes or has or poses, I should say, for the U.S. and the rest of the world for the next 4 years. Apart from that, just as somebody who does this work, it brings it really brings me down that he's the man that I have to talk about. Because there's no inserting logic into that discussion. There's no informing people who are supporters of his. I have the ability to potentially, change minds, inform people when it's somebody who isn't a cult leader. But when there's a cult leader in charge, can't do much about it. So you have to get him out. It's not, you can't, there's no rational discussion to be had with that lunatic in charge. So as somebody who covers this stuff, I am, I would love nothing more than to focus my time and energy on Biden. I would love nothing more. With a cult leader, there's not much I can work with. Sorry, there's a lot of questions coming in. I'm not going to be able to see all of them because they're coming as I'm talking. But what's your perspective on John Oliver? He's fine. Honestly, I don't watch a lot of TV content. So, I mean, just what people send me. But from what I've seen, he's solid for the most part. He had some weird. I forget what it was. It may have been on Venezuela a couple of years ago. He had some segment that was terrible. But those are few and far between. Most of what he does is pretty good. Also, keeping in mind, he has like a massive. People like that, they have giant teams behind them, like writing teams, producing teams. People need to understand the amount of work it takes to do what I do. And not just me, like people that do this work. We are one man bands. Like we do our own research, editing, shooting, everything. So someone like John Oliver, he has, like 100 people on his team. It's they have a lot to. They have a lot of people, and when you have more people, you can produce, content like that on a level, in terms of research, in terms of references, in terms of showing clips or whatever. They can do that stuff because they have massive teams. I don't got a massive team, so I'm kind of stuck with with what I could do personally. But apart from that, yeah, his work is better than most when it comes to TV content. I can't think of a name. Says, do you think Biden can win Ohio? Of course he can. Will he? I don't know. This election, as I said earlier, it's freaking me out. I'm getting worried. After this RNC, the fact that anybody believes any of that bullshit, it's scary. So I don't know. Miguel says, adopt me. Not happening, but I appreciate the offer. I got to scroll through here. Paul Gibby says, what do you think is going through the minds of normal Republicans like Rob Portman? I don't know who that is. Look, it's people that support Trump at this point. You're part of a cult. You're part of a cult. Unless you're willing to take in new information. So I'm also seeing some super chats. I wish there was a way to separate these. Oh, there is. Okay. So how about this? I'll take some super chats when I can, if I can go back and forth. That way it's easier. So super chats I will definitely respond to. Otherwise, you're kind of just getting lucky. But let me check some super chats here. Themis and Thoth says, yep, one man, respect. There you go. All right, back to the live chat. Um, I- Ivan says, do you think AOC has a future in the next 4 years in the Republican Party? I don't. Do you mean Democratic Party? I don't understand your question. Does she have a future in the next? Okay, I'll get the first part of your question. Yes, she has a future in the party, of course. In the Republican Party, I don't know. I don't know what that even means. Let me get some more here. Butthole is right. Butthole making some solid points today. This is the second solid point. It's possible to think Biden is an atrocious candidate and Trump needs to be voted out at the same time. They aren't contradicting opinions. Exactly. That's my position. I think that's the most logical position. You can hold both those truths. As I've said a million times, when it comes to real change, it happens between elections. It doesn't happen at the voting booth. Any real change happens through movements. Wow, there's actually some sun right now. That's amazing. It's been cold today. So, yeah, exactly. Trump has to go. We love you in Spain, says Valerie. Awesome. I've never been, but I would totally go. Don't know why you look extra Canadian without the done-up hair and such. Yeah, maybe it's the trees and the hair. Looking very Canadian today. Floor Collins says, will you marry me? I will not. I'm sorry, but I thank you for the offer. I really appreciate it. And thank you for the super chat. Why are we outside? Because I am not in my usual place. This is why the videos are a little dispersed the past few days, or past couple days. Lionel Steele says, I hate to say it, but I'm almost hoping Trump wins. The Democrats have been Republican light. They snub their left wing to suck up to corporations. You are wrong. That happened 4 years ago. What changed? Nothing. They only got worse. There's no teaching the party a lesson. The party is designed a certain way to serve certain interests. So all you can hope for is primarying out leadership and changing the party that way. And continuing to amass a movement. And the best way right now to amass a movement, put this crisis on a Democratic Party. That's how you do it. But by having the GOP in charge is not going to solve any problems. It's going to make things worse. Jose Pena says, do you watch any sports? Yeah, I watch hockey, and I'm beginning to watch more basketball now. After the Raptors won last year, I watched that Raptors playoff run, which was friggin' amazing, and I'm watching more basketball now. A lot of good comments here. Let me scroll down. Oh, great. There's like 2 bees around me. If I get stung, guys, it's going to be a problem. Jesus Christ. Get the fuck away from me. Jesus. God damn. All right. I'm going to lose monetization because I swore to be. Adam Bryson says, hey, I actually been to Spain 3 times before, or 3 times Barcelona. Yeah, Barcelona seems nice. Lawrence, why did it slowly go away? This bee's gonna kill me. Lawrence says, does Buffalo accent sound like a Toronto accent? I have non-Buffalo friends who do. I don't know. I'm not sure what Buffalo accent sounds like. I think Nomiki Kans is from Buffalo. So listen to her voice. Does it sound like it's Canadian? I don't know. Swirly Swirl says swear jar. Yes, swear jar. Let me scroll up. Did I miss anybody? I did. Mandy Soul, thank you for your sticker. Adam Bryson says, where are you at today, man? I'm visiting family. That's why I'm here. Swirly Swirl says your hair is now, checking for bees, says your hair is now its own character on your video. Thanks for all your work from Indiana. Thank you. Lloyd Tucker says, What do you think of the movement for a People's Party in addition to hijacking the Democrat Party? I say both. Do both. So the convention is this weekend, I believe, on Sunday, I think. I'll cover any news out of that on Monday. Let me sit back down if I can't. The bees hanging out around my chair. That's not a good thing. Yeah, so that convention is on Sunday, and then I'll cover it if anything comes out of it. I know Cornel West. I want to see his speech. Who, by the way, said he's voting for Biden. Just want to tell you guys, he sees voting as a tool. He sees the threat that is Trump. So it's important to point that out. But Cornel West, Nina Turner, headlining it. Looking forward to seeing those speeches. And yeah, I'll cover that if anything comes out of it. But yeah, my approach to change is all the above. Third party and primary people out, and unionize your workplace, build a movement. There are bees around me. Why? Yeah, protest movements. Whatever you could, however you can apply your power, do it. There are various ways. Obviously, you can't do everything, but whatever appeals to you, do that. The super chat finally is popping up. Doodlebug says, "What are your thoughts on the results of the SIU investigation into Regis Korchinsky Paquette's death?" I don't know anything about this. I have no idea. Beetle Greg, but thank you for the super chat. Beetle Greg says, "Happy birthday, Shania Twain." Oh, Shania Twain's birthday. How about that? Amazing. Happy birthday, Shania. All right, back to the live chat. Let me, all right, I think I'm free from the bees right now. All right, free from bees. Is there a bee in my beer? My non-alcoholic beer, because it's YouTube and I can't drink, I don't think. No bees. All right. Beavis is smarter than Trump. You are correct. I'm seeing bugs. Sorry. Too many bees around. I'm getting paranoid now. Back to some super chats. I want to make sure I get the people that are paying. Apologies for the regular chat, but if you're going to send a super chat, I can't miss you. HG says, "Would you consider living in another country? Love your hair like that." I would consider it. It's unlikely, but I would consider it. For a while, when I was growing up, I really wanted to move to the U.S. Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus Christ. I swear I'm going to be stung today. They've been everywhere. There must be a hive around here somewhere. Yeah, I would consider it. When I was growing up, I was considering it seriously, but I don't think it's going to happen. I will think about it, but I'm pretty comfortable right now in this lovely country. Anthony Valenti, thank you for your super chat. This is getting ridiculous. Beavis is smarter than Trump. I think I read that earlier. Yes, you are correct. All right, back to regular. You look like Bob Ross. Thank you. Sorry for the finger in the way. I'm trying to manage many things at once. I'm trying to manage not getting stung. I'm trying to manage this chat. John McClain says, dude, are you in Toronto? Do you want to be buds? Let's be buds. Follow me on Twitter. We'll hang out. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having some friends. I could use some new friends. Ryan S. said, yeah, I'd be happy in Canada too. Chris W. says, favorite Canadian news sources. There's plenty. There's Ricochet, there's Press Progress. There is Passage. Check out Passage. Fantastic. It's a new one. Man. Those are my go-tos. Ricochet, Passage, Press Progress. I know there are more, but I can't think right now. The Walrus? Are they good? I forget. There are several. Canadians drink Molson's according to Strange Brew. I don't like Molson Canadian. It's a pretty cheap beer. It's not really good. I tend to drink Heineken or Miller Genuine Draft. Love the hair. Thanks, Nima. Yeah, Cyrus made the comment about the beers. Thank you, Cyrus. A lot of comments about the hair. Thank you. Winston says, do you think Pelosi will refuse to release Trump tax records if Neil loses? I haven't thought about this. I don't know. Is he the barrier right now? My understanding was that he was late to it. The bug's out here. My understanding was that Neil was late to it. Not that he couldn't do it now. It's that he could have done it earlier, but there was a deadline that he didn't meet. And then that was the issue. So I don't know about that whole thing. Anthony Harrell says you definitely smoke. Can I say this on stream? You know what I'm talking about. The funny plant, you know. We should burn one sometime. Yeah, I'm down. Just gotta let me know. You should do a video on Tucker Carlson. Recently, he said how shocked we are that 17-year-olds with rifles decided they had to maintain. Yes, I did a video on that. It's going to probably go up tomorrow because I got to have some content for tomorrow when I'm not around. So you'll see it tomorrow. What's funny about that is that was demonetized. That video got demonetized. Apparently, you can't even talk about these issues. Like, I didn't show any videos that were violent or anything, but even talking about these issues, you get demonetized. And the demonetized part doesn't really bother me as much. I mean, you see right now these super chats. Like, this is great. My issue is that they get deplatformed in the process. When something gets demonetized, oftentimes it's harder to find that video because it's not in suggested videos. It won't get pushed to other people. So there's a smaller audience that it serves. And that is the real issue with these demonetizations. All right, let me see if I can sit down again without dying. All right, sitting when I can as to not get stung. A lot of super chats here, so let me get to these. Sally McLaughlin says bees aren't all bad. Bees are fine. They're fine when they're doing their thing. You know, pollinating and shit. But when they're around my legs, no. They can go screw themselves. Butthole says, I've only been to Canada once with a group of friends when we were all 19 so we could legally purchase alcohol. That's why most Americans first come to Canada. It's because of the age, the lower age for drinking. No one important says right-wingers justifying this kid shooting people is absolutely making my blood boil. Thank you for keeping it real with us, brother. Yeah, I got to be honest with you. This week is part of the reason I took these past couple days basically off. It's been too negative. Having to deal with all this negativity, all this bullshit. I had to cut it short. Seeing, especially what you just said, with the people defending that kid, it was like, all right, I'm out. I have to go into nature. I got to be a hippie for a couple days to reset myself, because I internalize a lot of this bullshit. Like, these conversations that go on, it gets way too negative for me, and I just can't. I can't stew in it too long, or else it brings my entire mood down, which it does anyways. But at some point, it gets to be too much. And this week, it's felt like it's been too much. So I had to get away. It's just, like, when it comes to, this is the other part about why I enjoy fighting neoliberals and not enjoy fighting fascists. is because I can understand the motivations behind neoliberalism. I understand greed. I understand the desire for money, for status. I don't understand innate hatred of other people. Uh, I I just don't get that. There's nothing there for me to be able to really latch onto, and I just don't think I'm all that effective, honestly, at uh at discussing right wing bullshit because I really don't get it. It's evil, it's disgusting, and to me, it's so obvious. So to have to, talk about that and that be the focus for the last 4 years, it's been dreadful. Which is why you see a lot of my videos. I don't focus on it because it's not. I don't understand it. I just don't. I don't understand sociopaths. It's so you know. Let's at least get to a place where we can have a discussion about greed. I can understand greed, and that's easy to communicate and take down and uh, and fight. It's not easy to fight a fascist because they have no limits. More chats. I'm sorry, I'm doing mostly super chats right now because a lot came in. I don't want to miss any of these. So let me get all of them. Canada Rocks says, great name. Says, what's your favorite vegan place here in Toronto? And it sure didn't take Ford long to revert back to normal. My favorite vegan place in Toronto. So I haven't been to that many, honestly. I really like Hogtown Vegan. Hogtown Vegan is 2 locations. They have really good. I'm a sucker for chicken wings, and since I stopped eating meat, it's been a pain, honestly, to not eat chicken wings. I love chicken wings so much, but it's really all in the sauce. It's not about the meat. So Hogtown Vegan does really good meatless wings because they have great buffalo sauce, great barbecue sauce. So check out Hogtown Vegan. That's my one recommendation. But there are there's one. What's it called? Oh man, I'm not good at internalizing names of things. I don't know. There's one that's about a 5-minute walk east of the old Sony Center. So if you know where the Sony Center is, downtown Toronto, I think someone else bought that place now. But walk 5 minutes east. There's a place around there. I think they have 2 locations as well, but there's one location down there. The bee is back. Are you fucking kidding me? So that's a great. This fucking bee is gonna be the end of me. So yeah, many good. Sorry for the fingers. Many good vegan places in Toronto. It's right by my ear, isn't it? I heard it. It's gone now. Speaker Wigan 49 says, what do you think about Trump suggesting there ought to be drug testing before the Prez debates? Have you seen Nancy Pelosi's recent comments about I can't see the rest of your comment, but I think you mean not debating. Yes. So the first part of the question, the drug testing, he says things, it's stupid. I don't care about that. Pelosi's comments about the debate. So there are 2 ways to look at her comments, because a lot of people went straight to just talking shit, or not talking shit, I shouldn't say that, but went straight to saying, oh, she's totally crazy and there's no point at all to what she's saying. No, if you actually listen to her comments, she doesn't make a horrible point. The issue is it is horrible strategy. Like the point that she was kind of trying to make, and look, Pelosi rarely has ever made any good points. So this is not anybody, I'm not someone who defends her ever. But the point she was trying to make is that he lies all the time. Like, why even have a debate? Like, this is why a lot of people on the left won't debate, like a fascist, because there's no basis for a conversation there. If somebody just inherently hates people, wants to get rid of certain groups of people, you can't have a debate with that person, because then you legitimize their insanity. And that's, I think, what she was trying to say. So she's right in that sense. The difference being, of course, that he's the president. So you can't just avoid a debate with the president. And also, I think it's just bad strategy. I think it would appear if he didn't debate him, it would appear as though he's trying to avoid a debate and is maybe scared of him. So I think in terms of strategy, it's stupid. But ultimately, the point she was trying to make is the reason why a lot of people on the left will not debate, just a straight up fascist, because there's no debate to be had, unless I guess the point is for the people watching. But then even then, you're sort of platforming who that fascist is, unless they're really well known. And there's not many really well-known fascists unless you're the president. So I don't know. It gets into a whole thing. But basically, when it comes to the president, he has to debate. You can't avoid that debate. Scrolling back up here for these questions. You rock, David. I hope you speak in Ohio sometime. Speak in Ohio? You mean like a speech? You never know. I don't know. Mandy Soul says, you name the place, I'll provide the laughing plants. David Dole rocks. Thank you, Mandy. Well, you got to be in the Toronto area. Speaker Wiggins says, having any pres debates at all? I bet Trump did that to throw people off. He would test positive as well as Biden. So President Trump stalking. Let me read this again. Oh, you continue that's what you were saying. Yes, the same super chat that I was responding to earlier that I just didn't read the rest of. Yeah, okay. I just responded to that. Nell Fergie says, stay strong, brother. Thank you, Nell. Ronald says, if you lived in a riding where you could help unseat a Liberal or Tory incumbent by voting for a Bloc Québécois candidate, would you be able to pull the trigger? If I lived in a riding where you could help unseat a Liberal or Tory incumbent by voting for a Bloc Québécois candidate. It all depends on the race. I mean, when it comes to, well, a Tory, definitely. The Bloc has some better positions, many solid positions compared to Tories. Yeah, probably, but it would depend on the race. It would depend on the situation, depend on the riding, depend on who's in power, like all that stuff. I don't care for these, these thought experiments. I need to see a real world example. Matthew Daniels says, what's your take on Justice Greens? Justice Greens trying to get an eco-socialist elected to be leader of the Canadian Greens, and would you run with a lefty leader? What's your take on Justice Greens trying to get an eco-socialist elected to be leader of Canadian Greens? Are we talking about Dimitri Lascaris? Because I support him for Green leadership. Would I run with a lefty leader? I don't know what that means. Would I run with a lefty leader? Like be part of his campaign? I got too much going on. But I would totally support a solid Green leader and a Green party if they had. Of course, again, depends on the riding. Like, you're not going to have a Green prime minister in the current state of how things are. But I would support building a party around a Dimitri Lascaris kind of platform. Eric H. says, I'm a U.S. citizen and thinking of trying to find a job in Kingston, Ontario, and moving my family there. Is that crazy or possible? I don't know the immigration shit, so you got to look that up yourself. People ask me this question. I just don't know in terms of immigration. I know it's not easy. I'll put it that way. So you got to research into that. So I can't help you there. Justin Shields says, right-wingers are defending and praising the 17-year-old killer as self-defense. How do you see this partisanship ending? Civil war? I'm worried. I don't know. I addressed some of this earlier because I'm going to have a video out tomorrow that addresses it. But I don't know how it's going to end. And I don't want to make any predictions. I don't know. Let me sit down again if I can. A lot of bugs out right now. Okay. You can tell I'm not a huge fan of bugs with stingers on them. Okay, where was I here? That E-flat guy says, should I join a protest when it's likely to turn violent? Also, what other ways can I support change to the U.S. criminal justice system? Uh, you don't know what's going to turn violent, what's not going to turn violent. So yes, join it. Don't let anything scare you into not joining a protest. Um, just be vigilant, be safe, be aware of what's going on around you. But also, what other ways can I support change to the U.S. criminal justice system? Be informed on races when it comes to like DA, like who's running for DA. You have that, for example, that one. Man, I'm so bad at names. That one Philly, the new Philly DA, whose name has escaped me, but I've done like 3 videos on him. But when you have someone like that running, make sure you are, involved in supporting someone like that, because that's how, a lot of the change happens in smaller races like that. Local races that a lot of people don't really follow. But if you are involved and can inform people on, man, what's his name? I'm so bad with names. Anyways, I've done a video on him. But if you look up Philly DA, that's who the guy is. And I'm sure someone in the chat is writing it, but I can't see all these chats right now. But yeah, so there's been several races like that. Follow those races. Otherwise, inform people in your life. That's a big part of it as well, is spreading the knowledge. Ravi Primi says, sending love. Thank you. Very generous super chat. Thank you, Ravi. Juna McGrath says, hey, David, how do you feel about these polls getting closer? I still believe Biden will win, but I think he needs to adopt some more progressive policies to ensure a win. UBI, federal jobs guarantee, etc. So I'm getting a little worried right now, based on maybe it's just because post RNC nerves, but I think it's going to be a lot closer than I initially thought, because we're seeing these polls tightening a little bit, and we're seeing the kind of bullshit this party's pulling out, and we're also seeing what he's doing with the post office and the threat that he is to people wanting to vote. So it's going to be close. I'm not going to make any predictions, but it's going to be close. And yeah, of course, Biden needs to do all that stuff. He's not going to, but he needs to, if he wants to be able to be a little more comfortable going into the election. Mike Paquette says, with tightening polls, the bump Trump might get from the RNC, the desensitization many Americans are displaying with respect to COVID, are you as terrified as I that Biden might have peaked too early? Tightening polls bump Trump is getting from the RNC. Yeah, it's possible he's peaked too early. It's also possible that it's August and we don't know what the next 2 months are going to look like. So things can still change over these next 2 months. We don't know. So don't get too worried yet. But at the same time, make sure you are going to vote and are doing it as early as possible and getting people in your life to vote as early as possible. Don't mess around. Don't mess around with this election. All right, back to the live chat for a bit here. Yes, Tuesday, September 1st, very important to support Andrew Morse. Isn't it Alex Morse? Alex Morse. His opponent heads the Ways and Means Committee. Tax dollars allocation. Help Morse, please. Yes, that is on the 1st. Also, Ed Markey. Make sure you're supporting Ed Markey over Kennedy. Both in Massachusetts, of course. Let me grab some more here. A poll came out today that has Biden with a 15-point lead nationally, which looks, sure, that's one poll. A lot of the polls are showing a tighter race, and you also have to focus more on states. National leads, if all those votes are in California and New York, it doesn't mean too much. So you really have to focus a lot more on how each state's looking. Question mark says he is virtually tied in swing states right now, CNN. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was CNN or not, the polls I saw, but I think Minnesota, he's like tied or close. Michigan is really close. Yeah, so don't sleep on this race. William Chan says, what are your thoughts on Aaron O'Toole here in Canada? I need to do a little more research on Aaron O'Toole. I just did not really follow this conservative race. But look, a lot of it appears to be a attempt to change the tone of the party by appearing to be more accepting of marginalized groups. Whether that actually translates into policy, I don't think so. The party is the party. We already have two conservative parties in the Liberals and the Conservatives. Liberals, of course, everyone tries to act like they're, or I should say, the right tries to act like they're far left. They're nowhere near far left. They're a very corporate party, as the Conservatives are. So, and in some ways, you can even say Liberals are even more corporate. Yeah, no, NDP or Green all the way, depending on your riding. Bees are everywhere. Tejaswi says, do you listen to podcasts recommendations? I haven't listened to, honestly, most of my stuff is through YouTube at this point. I used to listen to more podcasts. Podcast recommendations. Like, I used to listen to Chapo a lot. I haven't listened to them recently. Honestly, I would not be the person to ask when it comes to podcast recommendations. I don't know. Victoria B says, $4 more CanCon. Oh, sorry, money for more CanCon. Also for B swearing demonetize. Thank you. I just flicked a spider off my leg. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you. Yes, CanCon. We need the help. Canada Rock says, I think you mean fresh on front. I believe that is the one. Yes, fresh. That's it. That's the vegan place. Great place. They have a great Cobb salad. Check out. Oh no, Plants is the one, I think. Both are good. I forget which one it is. But Fresh and Plant are both great. No, Plant is the other one. Yeah, Fresh is the one on front. That's right. Plant is also great. Yes. Do I think Ford will win again? Good question. We're gonna have to get close to an election because we're still far off. I don't know, because the Liberals right now are not even, I think, don't even have official party status because they barely have any seats. But right now they have like a lot more support in the province because people are associating the federal party, the federal Liberals, with the provincial Liberals, which is weird. But I guess I kind of understand that. But so the NDP have completely failed in their ability to capitalize on this moment. Andrea Horwath, look, she's not a horrible person, but she's not the leader that the party needs right now. They need somebody who's outspoken, loud, is going to demand media attention. That's not Andrea. She's too laid back. She's too chill. They need someone who's going to be angry. So the NDP kind of missed their opportunity to build during this pandemic. Vicky Clee says, love from UK. In brackets, hint, if you're upset at the state of politics over there, do not look in on UK politics. It's depressing. I'm sure it is, but if you look at the coronavirus numbers, it's a hell of a lot better than the US is right now. So, in terms of that, at least, it's definitely better for people in the UK. Corvo Atano says, this is dumb, but what conditioner do you use? It changes almost every time I go shopping. So, more recently, I don't remember the name, but there's an avocado on the bottle. I bought it because it was on sale. I have no idea what it's called. It changes all the time. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I use. My hair is the same every time. Okay, back to some regular chat. I'm probably going to go in about 5 minutes because right now I'm on my free hour of data. So once that free hour runs out, I got to get off this. But yeah, so let's say about 5 minutes. So get your chats in now. Let me see here. What's in the normie chat? Winston says, or respond to somebody else, but says Trump barely won the Rust Belt and lost popular vote. If more people voted Trump, wouldn't be president now. Yeah, that's the issue is turnout, which is why ultimately it was Hillary's fault that she lost. This is here says, are you going to grow out the beard for the winter? Probably not. I kind of like this length. I don't want to get too crazy. Is this election another repeat of the 2016 elections? It might be. Let's not repeat history. Richard says, you're a lovely guy. Hope you're safe and well. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you, Richard. A lot of people saying get more rest. Oh, that's just Joe. Joe said it twice. Do I look really tired, Joe? I'll get some rest, don't worry. Larry Krasner. Yes, thank you. I am really bad at internalizing names. Really. If I ever meet you in person, that was a bug on my nose. If I ever meet you in person, I will forget your name 2 minutes after I meet you because I'm more focused on, being kind and courteous, and I just don't internalize your name. I'm really bad at names. It kind of runs in the family too, so don't take it personally if that ever happens. But yes, Larry Krasner, he's the DA in Philly. Alexander Stone, any recommendations for starting another Canadian news show on YouTube? I would almost say start on Twitch. YouTube, it's really hard right now to start a news channel because of the way that the algorithm works. When I started, I think I was at the tail end of all that bullshit, so I was still able to begin to form an audience. But ultimately, actually, I was able to grow an audience because Mike Figueredo had me on his show when I had like 10K subscribers. But honestly, just do good work. If you do quality work, research your stuff, you're gonna find an audience. It will take time, but you will grow an audience if you do solid work. But yeah, I would say start on Twitch. I just think it's easier to grow an audience on there. All right, let me grab some chats because I got to go in very shortly. Super chats. Question mark says, talk to black leftists and activists about voting for Biden. They see it completely different from you. Lesser of two evils doesn't help black people. That you're generalizing quite a bit there. To lump all black people, all black leftists into that category is just absurd. No. Again, I'm not even saying lesser of two evil. I'm saying vote for who you want to fight. I've done a million videos on this now. So if you watch my content, there's no excuse. Go back and watch those videos. There's a video actually about voting for who you want to fight. Meaning, your vote, the purpose of your vote changes. Voting is a tool. It's not, a representation of all your hopes and desires. It changes depending on what your choices are. In a primary, you have better choices. It's not the primary right now. So right now, the best use of your tool is to vote for the person you rather be fighting as president. Would you rather be fighting a neo-fascist or would you rather be fighting a neoliberal? It's a lot easier and a lot safer to fight a neoliberal. That's just the fact. And all the fights we've had to refight when it comes to DACA, when it comes to the Paris Climate Accord, when it comes to the Iran deal, when it comes to DAPL, you are shooting yourself in the foot and not even just stalling progress, but going backwards, causing us to have to fight fights we already won if you continue with this neo-fascist. So this fucking bee will not go away. So vote for who you rather fight. Joe Krockenberg says, you're looking like Trudeau. Well, that's unfortunate. That is not the aim. But I will do my best to not look like him. Brandon Adams says, vote for down ballot progressives like me in Illinois 100th. Yes, down ballot is incredibly important in this upcoming election. All right, gonna go very shortly. Maybe get some last chats in here. If you want to get a super chat in, get it in now, as there's probably a delay on this of about, I don't know, a minute or 30 seconds. But get your chats in now so I can jump out of here pretty quick. I've been here for 50 minutes. Jesus Christ, time flew by. Colton says, unsubscribed, you're a cusser. I hope you're joking. JB says he used to look so nice, shaven and short-haired. Oh, sorry, Jay. I'm so sorry to disappoint you. Let's find some other chats here. These bugs are out of control. Riley Cool says, you look adorable. Thank you, Riley. Joe J says, are you Polish? No, I'm not. Bernie and AOC will be voting for Biden, says J-Flo. Yep. Not even just them. Cornel West, the guy who's headlining the People's Party convention, is voting for Biden. So don't listen to me. Listen to the people who are fighting for a third party, because he understands there ain't going to be no discussion about a third party until the neo-fascist is out of power. So he gets it. All right. I'm just going to go to Super Chats now because I'm going to get off in 2 minutes. So, Noah, I can't say that on air, but yes, I do. All right, Super Chats. Literal Lils. Always like to hear from Literal Lils, one of the regulars here. Says, I live in Arizona and I'm voting against fascism. There you go. Joe Krockenberg says he's a good-looking man. It was a compliment. I don't want to look like Trudeau. He can look like me. I don't want to look like him. Sally McLaughlin says, I hope you get the money in spite of the mild swearing. Oh, I do. Yeah, no, Super Chats are separate from... When it comes to demonetizing, it only impacts ads. It doesn't impact Super Chats. Walker Miller says, David, keep it up. Can you please talk about the disastrous financial history of the Pentagon? Yeah. How much did they lose? Or not lose? Yeah, lose. It was like, I forget the exact amount. It was like 21 trillion or something, where they just lost, didn't know where it went. And then they continue increasing the Pentagon budget. It's fucking crazy. Damn, I swore again. I lost more subs because of it. Yeah, no. I'm sure I covered that in the past, like when that happened. But of course, there is so much waste in the Pentagon, and it's never discussed from people who pretend to care about, the spending or the deficit. They never bring that shit up. All right, I think I got to get off. This was really fun. Maybe I'll do this tomorrow, actually. Since I may not have a video, I'm going to have one video out tomorrow. The Tucker Carlson response to the Kenosha BS. So I will have that out tomorrow, but I may also do another Ask Me Anything. So there we go. One last scroll here, since I'm enjoying this. If I can find one. A lot of compliments. Thank you. I really appreciate these compliments. This is here. It's totally okay. I don't mind the gossip. It doesn't bother me. Don't worry about it. Super Suplex Beast. Is this pandemic a form of distractions from the 2020 elections on purpose? This pandemic I just got a notification that my date thing is My hour's up. All right, I lost your question now. I don't think the pandemic's a distraction. It's what's happening right now. All right. All right. Data's up. Let me grab. I think there's one last chat here. Maybe. Maybe. No, there's not. All right. Good. I'm out. Thank you all for showing up. Maybe I'll be here tomorrow. We will see. It's been fun. Stay safe. Be good. And inform your friends and family on what the hell is going on. That is how we help grow shit, bring people to protests, and be safe out there when you go out. All right? Later.